Welcome to episode 7, I think, of Shelftember, where for the months of September and October, I am decluttering, dusting, and displaying, hopefully every shelf in my domain of the household. Ignore those shelves in the back. That is not my domain. That is my son's man cave, I guess you could call it, and his messy bed. Anyway, the front hallway, this side of it is mine to deal with. That was my great grandma Amelia, my mom's grandma, her dad's mom. And then that was my mom and dad in one of the wedding pictures. The ones without the motorcycles. Anywho, and those are juggling stick things. I don't know. Anywho, I am finally getting around to tackling the shelves that sort of spurred this project on. I can see them from the chair that I sit in the living room. Yes, his bed's in the living room. It's a 2-bedroom house. We made a third. Anyway, where there's a will, there's a way. So, I'm finally getting around to figuring out what to do about these shelves, which have basically been accumulating sentimental stuff that I've inherited and don't know what to do with. So, as a for instance, all of those statues I was just dusting, as well as this carving, my grandfather made those, my dad's dad, and it's stuff that, like, I'm sure that pocket knife belonged to somebody. I don't remember who at this point. My dad, his Uncle Lee, his dad's, I really have no idea. Really don't. The weird baskets are all from time spent in South America. Not my time in South America. My dad's parents' time in South America. This was like a photo book thing my mom put together of the kids when she was still here. She passed, I want to say my son had just turned 4? Maybe he just turned 5. I don't know. And my daughter was 2. So we don't have a lot of printed out pictures from when my kids were little because I haven't done well at getting things printed. Within a few years, we switched over to digital stuff, so I have pictures of them, various places, but very few that are actually printed out. Even to the point, like, my daughter, my 17-year-old, she has added a photo printer to her Christmas wish list because there's not a lot of pictures. And that's something that she would like, but it's not, it's one of those things that it's like, do you go get pictures printed now? Well, she tried that, and you know, it was kind of expensive for her. What I should do? I should tell her she could use that electronic photo frame, and then she could have like pictures rotating through. I might mention that to her when she gets home from school. I'm noticing that, so the red and black trays are also from grandmother and granddad. The pigs, those are actually piggy banks, I believe from Guatemala, but that kind of doesn't make sense to me because the black pottery around here is from La Chamba, Colombia. So, I don't know. The little weird shaped box, I made Mom for Mother's Day one year. Oh, it's like one of those paper mache things that you just paint and give somebody. Yeah. The little stuffed animal Beanie Baby things were Mom's driving companions. She hauled trailers for a while. Both of my parents did, actually. But grandmother, my dad's mom, actually gave her one of them to stick on her dashboard as a driving companion so that she could travel along and go on adventures with her. Because she was past the point of being able to do that at that point. So a lot of this stuff isn't stuff I really want to get rid of. But at the same time, it's kind of, what do you do with this stuff? Like, that's why I'm like struggling with it so much, because it's like, I don't know where all of it came from. I don't always know all of the stories behind it. But at the same time, it all reminds me of people. And they're gone. So like, today when I'm over emotional about everything, it makes me sad. At the same time, I don't want to not have anything from anybody, you know? Not have anything from anybody. A lot of the stuff in my house I inherited from somewhere. Oh, and that sign, in case you're wondering what it says, not everything goes to plan. My daughter made that. She wanted me to put it up on my belief wall. Basically, I have a wall where I have Sharpie written some like boiled down things that I believe in as I've sorted through things over the years. I don't have a way to attach it, and I have a feeling it's a struggle because I like to plan. If things are going haywire, guess what I do? I plan. But she doesn't necessarily, it's not like I've explained what I was doing with the stuff on the wall, and she just sees them as sayings. I guess that's one of those things where it's like, how do you sort through your own crap without overly explaining to your kids what you're doing? I mean, it's like, they don't know that there's abuse in my past. I do think they are aware that I am donor conceived, just because I have not lied and stuff at doctor's appointments and given them my entire family. Like, I don't give them dad's information. So, like, because my kids were close to my parents, they knew stuff going on with dad. So if they chimed in at doctor's appointments, I would have to correct the nurse and say, that is not genetically part of their history, and explain why. So how do you, I don't know. This is a struggle for me, because the stuff, and don't get me wrong, my dad will always be my dad, but when you're talking from a health history genetic standpoint, that side of the family, you know, as much as I love them, it's not a thing. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know. How do I explain things to my kids without giving them more stuff to worry about? You know what I mean? Kids these days worry about so much as it is. I don't know. And I'm sure somebody might ask why I'm hiding all of this stuff behind trays and things. I am a butterfly. So, to some degree, a really, really big degree, if I can't see it, it just kind of disappears. Some of that is guilty clutter. I'm not getting rid of my daughter's baby book because I feel guilty because I didn't keep up with it well. And looking back through mine, it looks like Mom kind of had the same issue I did, of she's got notes and things shoved in, but they're not attached. They're not, put where they're supposed to. They're not. And I'm sure to some degree my brother's was a bit more organized and done and taken care of, like my son's is. But when I had my daughter, he was a little over 2 years old. So there was a period of time in there I was just dealing with one kid. And I was off work for his first year. Whereas with my daughter, I was starting a new job with her in tow, actually, at 6 weeks old. And also had a toddler and I can't be the only one that has that issue. Like, I think that's probably a fairly common, like, second kid and younger thing. I don't know. Maybe it's not. If you are organized and have all of that stuff together, can you let me know how to get there? Because as much as I plan, I just can't handle all of it all of the time. So yeah, let me know. How do you guys deal with stuff? Like, I mean, it has become my taste. Let's put it that way. Like, all of the little statues and stuff, not so much. I would consider my taste very functionalist. I like it when things do something or perform some function rather than just being pretty. And so, like, a lot of this stuff where it's just there to be pretty. I do want to get that clock fixed. There was a corroded battery in it. I'm hoping maybe my son knows how to fix that. He's the electronics guru around here. I am still gonna just hide that guilty clutter, and this at least looks neater and cleaner. And even stuff that's functional, like the piggy banks and the baskets, I'm just not using them. But you know, I don't know. I'm not gonna get stuff just to put stuff in baskets, you know what I mean? So remember, a little bit at a time really adds up over a lifetime.